This is the TOSOT 24,000 BTU Mini Split air conditioner, Wi-Fi enabled, ductless inverter SE unit. It's finished in clean white, feels solid, and has a pretty sleek, modern look. The design is minimalist and it easily blends into pretty much any room without being too flashy or bulky. The indoor unit measures just over 3 feet wide, is relatively slim, and even though it's almost 45 inches across, it doesn't look massive on the wall. I find the curved edges and the little digital temperature display on the front really visually appealing. The remote is lightweight and basic, but in a good way. No overload of unnecessary buttons, and the LED screen is clear and bright. I'll be honest, when I first thought about installing a mini split like this, I felt a bit intimidated. I'm not a pro when it comes to ASIS. I was worried it would be overly technical, especially once I realized you deal with terms like SEER 2, inverter technology, BTUs, and Wi-Fi setup. But once it arrived, I started reading through the included instructions, and it was actually a lot less scary than I thought. The packaging was secure, nothing arrived damaged, and everything you need for setup was right there in the box. No scrambling for extra bits and pieces. I have to admit that even though I read a lot of people had done their own installs, I wasn't confident enough to do everything myself and called in a professional to handle some steps, like working with the refrigerant lines. If you have experience, you could probably manage a DIY installation. But for people like me who are new to this, it's really not a bad idea to get a technician for that part. Once I got the TOSOT Mini Split up and running, I immediately noticed how quietly it operates. Unless you crank it up to full power or turbo, the sound is more of a soft hum, barely noticeable. Somewhere around 24 to 34 decibels. Even when I'm sleeping or working, it never interrupts me, and I forget it's even on. What I love about this unit is that it's not just an air conditioner, but it also handles heating, fan, and dehumidifying. Switching between modes is super straightforward with both the remote and the Gree Plus app on my phone. If you've got Alexa or Google Assistant, you can set it up just by voice, which is honestly a blessing after a long day, when I don't even feel like moving off the couch. In my opinion, the most important feature is its energy efficiency. This TOSOT Mini Split has a super high SEER 2 rating, over 20, sometimes closer to 22. If you're new to this, SEER stands for Seasonal Energy Efficiency Ratio, and the higher it is, the less electricity it uses for the same cooling power. My old AC had a rating about half of this, so now my utility bills are definitely lower. For anyone worrying about the cost over time, this is honestly the kind of set-it-and-forget-it deal where the savings show up month after month without you having to do anything special. I really appreciate the smart features. Being able to control the temperature remotely on my phone means I can make sure the house is cool or warm before I walk in. Sometimes I just use the remote because it's already handy when I'm in the room, but being able to set timers, schedules, and even turn off the little LED light for sleeping is so convenient. I also like that there's a turbo setting. Say I was out for a while and forgot to leave the AC running, I'll come home, hit turbo, and the room cools down super fast. The air swing function circulates the air up, down, and side to side. No more hot or cold spots. From my experience, this air conditioner and heater works best in medium to larger rooms. I use it in a space that's roughly 1,200 square feet, and even in the heat of the summer, it cools the entire area without struggling. It handles winter cold spells too, and I've tested it with temperatures well below freezing. It doesn't just maintain a comfortable temperature, it actually keeps it consistent, avoiding those annoying ups and downs some older systems have. Now, let me talk about the things I really like about this unit. Key features for me are the quiet performance, the really impressive energy savings, and the smart controls. I can't stress enough how nice it feels to have a simple, easy-to-use system that doesn't kill your utility budget. The design fits in any room, the remote is super user-friendly, and every feature just works as promised. Having heating included is a bonus, and while I haven't used the dehumidifier a ton, it's nice to know it's there for sticky days in summer. That said, there are a couple of things I wish were better. To start, I found the installation a bit tricky, at least for someone who's not handy, or who doesn't already have the right tools. You might have to invest in a few tools, or hire someone to help make sure you get it right. If you're confident, awesome. But if you're like me, plan for a little extra help. Another issue is that the mounting brackets don't have a ton of flexibility when it comes to tilting, which could make it a bit awkward if your wall is not perfectly level or you want to change the angle. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to think about. I've also noticed that while the app is great, It could use some small improvements for people brand new to this kind of setup. But once you get the hang of it, you probably won't even notice. It's just the learning curve for the first day or two. In conclusion, the TOSOT 24,000 BTU Mini Split air conditioner is a solid investment if you want powerful, efficient, and flexible heating and cooling. If you're tired of loud, clunky window units or worried about high electricity bills, this is worth considering. I'd recommend this for homeowners, people renting who can install mini splits, and anyone who wants to make their home more comfortable year-round. You get a reliable, efficient system, and the long warranty gives peace of mind. If you want more honest reviews and quick tips on home products like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave any questions or experiences in the comments below, especially if you're thinking about upgrading your AC situation. Thank you for watching.